Hey guys, it's Lee. So somebody had asked in one of the Facebook groups I'm in the other day, what does bolting mean? So I thought I'd make a quick video and kind of show you the different steps of bolting. Here's some lieutenant broccoli that we've harvested several heads off each of these plants. So we're all familiar with the broccoli head, and essentially that's just a premature flower, inflorescent. The inflorescence is the technical name. So that's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's going to have flowers on it. And those flowers will get pollinated and form into seeds. Over here is a Calabrese broccoli that is fully bolted. The flowers are open, they're being pollinated, and they're forming seed heads. This is a smaller Calabrese bolted plant. And you can tell, Calabrese broccoli, the actual heads look a little different than the lieutenant. They're more elongated and more open. You don't get those tight clustered heads that you would on many other broccoli. They're kind of open from the start. But you can see on this newer Calabrese broccoli head, see how short this one is? This one here. This is going to keep on shooting up, and that's what these are, these long spires. This bloom was like this a few days ago, so it just explodes in growth. And it's funny when you think about it, because all of this is already inside here. It just hasn't expanded yet. So it's all there. It just needs to get bigger. It's kind of an attractive bloom. It's not kind of, it is an attractive bloom. They're pretty. So as each one of these flowers gets pollinated, both by wind and bees, ants, bees, wind, you see the little pistils and stamen in there. Each one of these flowers turns into one seed pod, like a green bean. See, that's one seed pod right there, and that's going to keep on growing. That's going to get bigger, and then inside that seed pod's probably going to be, I'm not sure on this species, but there could be anywhere from 10 to 12 to 20 or more individual seeds inside that little pod. Now over here, this shows you a little bit of a difference. This is the lieutenant broccoli. This is a lieutenant broccoli bloom. So they're very similar, but they're different. But they are similar in that they're all going to create the same kind of seed pods. And it bears worth noting that even up until this point, it's very edible. Doesn't taste terrible at all. It tastes good. And these leaves are wonderful. These leaves are wonderfully tender, very flavorful. So, but that's what bolting is. Basically, it's seed production. If you have space in your garden and you have room, I suggest you give it a try. This plant's in my way. I'm going to have to pull it out. I'm fixing to put my spring garden in. But I'm considering trying to maybe dig it up and pot it or transplant it. I don't know if the seed pods would survive that. But some of the other plants that haven't really fully bolted yet, I could probably dig them up and pot them in the same earth that I've got in the garden here and get them to go to seed. Now, as I mentioned earlier, once those seed pods form, it takes weeks for them to dry. And then what I did when I harvested these seeds right here, as I cut the seed pod, I cut the entire flower pod off, and I hung it on my porch, and I let it dry out for a few weeks. And then I put them inside a plastic bag, and I just kind of did the old thresh and blow technique. I just kind of beat it to death to open up those seed pods, and then dumped it out on a big metal tray, and I would blow across it while I ran my fingers across the seed pods to get rid of the husks or the what do they call that? The chaff. The chaff. You can look in that little bowl and you can see some little pieces of the chaff remaining. But I mean, it's cool. It's a good thing to know. It's a good tool. Sometimes somebody might give you a plant and you don't have a source for those seeds, and you can create your own. Or like I was saying, you know, microgreens is really hot right now. Here's your microgreen. Here's the starter of your microgreens right here. So anyway, I hope this video is helpful to someone, and happy gardening, everyone.